So on this video, I wanted to talk about something because God's just kind of like give me the go-ahead with making videos and making sure people know about like a lot of the stuff that He shows me. I get a lot of stuff from the spirit realm, and people need to know about it because, I mean, this stuff is just like not even like you're not gonna find stuff. I mean, no one's preaching it, no one's talking about it, and it's just pathetic, that we're living in such a critical time, and you can't even find real talk about the gospel and Jesus and all the stuff that God's pouring truth out on the people who want to listen, and people are so occupied with what they want to hear that He's not even bothering, But anyway, so I wanted to share this one thing because so God's been dealing a lot with me, just all the heavy metal and stuff I used to listen to when I was a kid, and pretty young kid too, so no dad, a pretty, non-strict mom, just like do whatever kind of thing. So that's in itself, neglect and abuse. So to be just specific about this, so this particular singer died, a couple years ago, or 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. And I ended up listening to an audio, a video of his, back when he was recording this stuff, many years prior, like 2 or 3 decades before he died. And just to show you what's going on in the spirit realm, I'm listening to this particular guy's voice on an audio track, and the demons that were operating in his life and him and through his music and stuff were active, and I'm hearing him tormented in hell currently by those same demons. The spiritual condition. See that, hell is just transferring you to the spiritual condition that you're living in already. It's your current spiritual condition. It's like all of a sudden it becomes physical. That's what hell is. It's just you get transferred into like, oh, here's the spiritual reality I've always been living in, and I haven't repented, I haven't come to Jesus, and I haven't been cleansed, sanctified by the Holy Spirit. So here it is, just as I've always been, except in the natural world you can walk around, find friends that think it's cool, eat something, do drugs, something, you make yourself feel good, get some kind of stimulation emotionally, visually, physically, whatever, and to mask it. And it's the truth of what's going on inside of you on the spirit, in the spirit realm, and none of that's available to you after you die. Your physical reality, you're clinging on to the same darkness, and then the physical stuff isn't there anymore for you to stimulate yourself with. So now all that it is that internal torment now become physical. There you go, hell. And so in this recording that happened decades prior to this man dying, I'm listening to it, and I'm listening to his current torment in hell, because there is no time in the spirit realm, and that spiritual condition was already there when he was making the recording, and he's there now. All of him is there because his body died, right? So his body's at the grave, and his being, his spiritual being, is with those demons that he was with, that were still with him when he was making the recording. So you kind of get that, like, so no time or physical space barrier is there to hold that back. So if you're discerning in spirits and you're in the Holy Spirit to catch that, and it's a gift of the Holy Spirit that you're catching what's going on with him right now. And I was hearing him singing, but in his voice I could hear him in hell being tormented, and it was like a mix of him singing back when that recording was being made, and that same spiritual condition that was the case, that's still the case now, and the reality of that now that I'm catching what's going on with them now through the discerning of spirits, which is, you could read about that in 1 Corinthians 12, being a gift of the Holy Spirit. And so you're able to do that. And so he's a famous guy and whatever, he's a person, so he had family and a wife and all that, but it just goes to show you it didn't matter that he had money and he had fame and he had talent, and people really liked his songs, and there was that time where people were having a good time. And it's the same thing. It's just like Babylon, just like Rome, just like these people were worshiping their gods and having their wars and accumulating their wealth and their riches and their gems and their harlotry and good times and whatever, and then they died. And all of that was getting accumulated in their spirit. And all those demons were getting attached. It wasn't being cleansed out because it didn't have Jesus in their life. They didn't accept the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross to have the Holy Spirit come and sanctify them of all that. So there's nothing to do, right? You spill water on yourself, you got water all over yourself, You attach all this stuff to yourself, and there you go. So anyways, I wanted to get that out there.